Hey friends, it is Suzanne from Legs Like Mine. Today is Tuesday, June the 3rd, and it is the third day of my Lipedema Awareness Challenge. So I wanted to go over what the rules of the challenge are so if people who are just joining me will know what it is. But first, let me tell you what lipedema is in case you're just joining me. So lipedema is a connective tissue or fat disorder where fat abnormally deposits in the legs, the buttocks, the hips, sometimes the arms, and in other places too. It's a genetic disease, but we don't really know the cause for it, although we know it's hormonally related. And right now, there's no cure for it. People do a lot of conservative therapies like wear compression, or if it's more extreme, they get surgery to remove it. I've had 3 surgeries. I'm a patient, and I've known about my diagnosis for 5 years now. During that 5 years, I have written many books about lipedema, including aquatherapy for lipedema and lymphedema and Jeans on a Beach Day, excuse me, and then also Empowered Legs, which is a book about advocacy. I'm also the president of the American Lipedema Association, which is a patient based advocacy group who is fighting for the rights of lipedema patients for insurance coverage and for consistent care and education with medical providers. So that's what lipedema is. And the challenge that I'm doing this month is for myself to one, to test myself, but also to raise awareness. So every single day, I have these 7 things that I'm doing, and I'm going to go over them now. 30 minutes a day of movement with 3 times a week of additional training for resistance, using resistance. Read 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book. And this is based off of the 75 Hard program, which my body's not ready to do, but I can do a lot of the things, right? Drink 90 ounces of water a day. For me, the nutrition part is avoiding sweets and getting 100 grams of protein a day. That is it. No other restrictions, right? For me, also, this is just for me skincare, wash and moisturize 2 times a day and use sun protect every single morning, and then measuring what I'm doing, take leg measurements in 3 different places, the smallest part of my ankle, the biggest part of my calf, and the biggest part of my thigh every single day. And then to share, which is to post at least one photo or video for awareness and tag new groups daily. So here is my update for today. And if you have been following me for very long, you also know that I'm a busy lady. I love to stay busy. I run a footwear company, Legs Like Mine. I am always writing books, and today I'm starting my MBA program. Tomorrow, I have a 5 a.m. flight to New Orleans to go to the Points Align conference, which is a conference for people who run nonprofits. So I'm trying to learn some stuff about how to do better as the president of the ALA. So I double dip on my time a lot of times. A lot of times my videos are uncut, and the next few days they're definitely going to be relatively uncut because I've just got a lot to do. So, the first thing is while we're getting ready, I'm just going to go, or I'm telling you about my week, I'm going to go ahead and do my skincare part. I already washed, so that's good. Using this special cleanser because I have rosacea and I'm going through, I think I'm going through menopause. I don't know, but my skin has just been insane. Like every single day, I've woken up with these crazy, like out of nowhere blackheads and stuff like that too. So I'm using a rosacea cream that's prescription and while I'm talking, and then I'm also gonna do my moisturizer. And you'll hear background noises. I'm just gonna tell you of me digging out the moisturizer and me squirting things and whatever. So bear with me because it'll be fun. It's just like you're sitting at in my office as a little friend of mine as I tell you about how my day went. So, for movement yesterday, I did learn some lessons. This is what I'm going to say. So, I spent way too much time on the computer yesterday working on videos. I'm excited about Lipedema Awareness Month, and I'm a sort of like a burst worker. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not making fun of it because I go through spurts in life where I will write an entire book in one day. Like last year, I wrote a book. I made an AI based coffee table book of lipedema ladies in important art. In 4 hours, I did it and I recorded it and I did it for lipedema awareness, which was kind of cool. And also, that added just another book in the arsenal of showing images of people who look like us. Right. So, But then after I read a book, like, man, I'll just tell you, when I worked on aquatherapy for lipedema and lymphedema, I had been working on it for a while, and I had an internal deadline set, and I holed myself up in this office for 3 days straight. And it was like I was getting up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then I was working around the clock until I just could not work anymore. And then I finally got it off to the publisher, and then I like did nothing for a week straight. That's kind of how I work. And I love that way of working since I've been retired from a job that was nonstop, nonstop forever. Right. So anyway, um, I spent too much time at the computer yesterday because I got on a roll, and hang on, I have to find my moisturizer. Just bear with me. Do. Um, okay. Anyway, I spent too much time at the computer, and then the weather sorry, the weatherman says, or weather, yeah, the weather person, the meteorologist, sorry, let me be a little bit more PC, says, hey, we're gonna get storms here in Oklahoma City. Well, I if yesterday I wasn't doing the challenge, this is what I'm gonna say. I wouldn't have exercised. I wouldn't have exercised at all. But I was like, "Oh, I do not want to come in on day number 2 and tell people that I didn't exercise on day freaking 2." So, I put on my bathing suit and I went outside. There was no lightning. I'm a Girl Scout, and we were never allowed to swim whenever we could see lightning anywhere in the distance. So, I was like, "All right, let me go get in this pool." And I got in the pool and I ran and walked hard. And that's one of the things that I'm doing as part of this challenge. It's my own deal. Because I say in my books, just being in the water is a lot because of the hydrostatic compression. But I ran like a maniac in that pool yesterday, and I've been doing that for a few days now. And I don't think anybody else can see body changes, but I feel body changes. I have this little muffin, no, not I have a muffin top, and I can feel it getting smaller, and I can see a tiny, tiny bit of definition in my waist that's been gone for a while. So anyway, I actually made it a little. I made it 31 minutes, and then people in my family started coming out, and they're like, "Girl, you need to get in the house." So I went back in the house. Anyway, so I did get the exercise in. Yesterday wasn't a resistance day. Even though I have a pair of dumbbells. I've this little 3 set of dumbbells. They're from Danskin. I got them for Christmas a long time ago, but I have the medium sized ones. I actually relocated to the living room. So when I'm walking through the living room, I might just stop and do some random arm stuff because I'm working on my arms, which have grown. I had surgery on them a couple of years ago. They've grown. Um, and so I'm just trying to work on those a little tiny bit. Anyway, so the movement I did get in, and then the reading, which is about to change big time. I got more than 10 pages in. I'm reading this book called Trust Your Mind, and it's by Janara Nuremberg. And she's the author of the Divergent Mind. She is writing about people who silence themselves because it's not the popular opinion, which is actually very timely because it's hard to talk about lipedema. For those of you who are actually lipedema patients, a lot of people do not want to share their pictures, right? Because it's embarrassing. Like, we don't want to have these legs. I'm grateful that I'm in the lipedema community, but if I could choose to not have legs that look like mine, I would choose that, wouldn't you? Right? So, anyway, speaking up, and that has been like the theme of my life anyway. Like, I'm always the person in meetings who asks the hard questions, says stuff that people are thinking, but they don't have the kahunas to say it, right? So, anyway, yeah, so that's the theme of it so far, and I just got past the introduction, which got a little long. And so now I'm getting into um, the meat of the actual book, which is a faster read. So I'm glad for that. But also, I'm just going to say I started my MBA program. Well, I started tonight. and you're going to hear me talking about it forever because I'm super excited to be out of the house and with people who are go-getters and networking and all that stuff. And there's pre-reading. It hit me last night. I went in, I logged in, and I thought, oh, I should go see if there's like a syllabus or something. Okay, well, 47 pages of reading for this week in one of the classes, and I'm taking 2 classes this summer. So um, anyway, I printed it out because Rob and I are going to go do some stuff here in a little while where he needs some time at a place. And I'm going to sit in the car and do some of my reading. So there's that. And honestly, if I could, I don't want to do ebooks for me because I have the way my memory works is I need to see it. And I also like very tactile. I like to take notes on paper and stuff like that. So anyway, the reading will not be a problem because I love to read and because now I have an assignment. So I hope I don't turn into a stinker and be like, I can't read that. All right. So nutrition, avoiding sweets, that's not a problem. And I actually, I brought, and for those of you who are listening on the podcast, I have had this bag of 2 cookies in my my office now for like a week. And so Rob and I are both using a GLP-1 drug, and um, he's also not doing sweets, right? So this is the first time in my life where I could be holding a bag of cookies that's been sitting in my office for a week and I'm not tempted at all. And thank you for the drug because I do believe that obesity and binge eating and all that stuff is a disease. Um, and it turned off the food chatter and it turned off my desire. Like, even if I ate the cookies, I wouldn't feel that sense of satisfaction that I used to get. So, there's something about those drugs that I think is helping with the inflammation, and it's also helping me, like, be able for the first time to resist food. Like, I don't feel like I'm depriving myself because I'm not eating that bag of cookies. Like, I could care that might as well be a bag of buttons. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me. Anyway, he had a Lunchable the other day for lunch. He gave me these cookies and he's like, "Get rid of these." And so I put him in my office thinking, "Oh, next time the kids come over, they'll want the cookies or whatever." No one wants the cookies, but now it's kind of like I might end up hanging them on the wall in case of emergency. So avoiding sweets, not a problem. I did have cottage cheese again yesterday. I've been enjoying fresh strawberries quite a bit. Um, and then getting the 100 grams of protein, that's actually harder than I thought it was. So tracking protein, it's like I do not ever want to be in a situation where I'm counting calories again. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do keto. I don't want something so restrictive. I like being able to say, "Oh, I'm enjoying fruits and vegetables. I'm enjoying the food," but also I eat a Big Mac. I'll tear a Big Mac up, brother. um, so with the GLP-1 drug, the nutritionist and doctor at the place I'm getting mine from said your only food goal is to get enough protein. And this morning I'm having a protein shake for breakfast, and um, I ordered a thing of protein powder because I can tell you yesterday, again, at the end of the day, I was sitting there, and this was like 10 o'clock at night last night. I was watching TV and I had my Bucky's cup, and it was my third big cup. And so I was like, I can't go to bed until I finish this water. But then I was also like, I I counted up my protein. I mean, and I'm counting stuff like, oh, there's so much in the little handful of bugles I had. Like, I was adding everything, right? And I was still like 25 grams shy. And so I had to go have a protein shake before bed. And I don't really want to do that. But I think tracking for a few days helps me realize, like, I thought I was getting more protein. And so I have to be cognizant about that. So anyway, the protein powder will help. And I figure when I'm traveling here the next couple of days, I'm gonna, because you can't take liquids with you, right? I'm gonna just have to hit like the convenience stores or whatever, and I'll take a scoop of protein powder in a baggie with me too. So we'll make that work. Skincare, that is also a challenge for me. So the morning part is not as hard because I wake up in the morning and I'm like, ooh, my face. will feel better if I moisturize, if I wash and moisturize. And it's almost like a little treat to me. In the evenings, same deal. I'm like, oh, I'm going to shower after the pool, but am I going to take that extra step to put moisturizer back on my skin? So I just have to remind myself, like, yes, I'm doing it, but if I'm not on top of it, I will go to bed with my makeup on, or with pool face or whatever. So that's one where this is for me. It's not for anybody else, right? But my skin will be happier if I do it. So measuring, taking leg measurements in 3 places and weigh daily. Oh, I weighed this morning, and I'm at 334 point something. So I've lost a little bit of weight, and the only thing I can attribute it to is that I'm not on a diet, right? It's got to be some water loss because of the intensity of the pool workouts. I will say that I have to take breaks from the pool workouts right now to go use the bathroom 2 or 3 times. And the timer stops when I do that, but because I am flushing that much fluid out of my system. So, anyway, I thought I would do my leg measurements with you. I still haven't put the battery in this thing yet, but this is the coolest little deal. It works like this. They sell them on Amazon, but they gave these away at Fat Disorders 2 years ago, I guess. Anyway, so you pull the tape out like this, right? And then it goes in to a little button right there, and you hear it pop, and then you put it around whatever body part you have, and then you hit the retract button. And so once you retract, if your battery's in it, it'll tell the measurement on the screen, which is so cool. But the other part that's super neat is there's apps that go with this that will actually, it like transmits the measurements to your app so you can trend it. So for until I get the battery on, and I'm not paying for the app. They gave me a free year, which I didn't even open the box the first year. um so hold on here, I'm taking my measurement, and if you remember, just to say, that's interesting, just to sort of set the baseline. Last year and before surgeries and all that stuff, my ankle was a straight up 14 inches. And when I started this just a couple of days ago, so I was swimming, but with less intensity, my ankle was a straight up 13. Today, it's down an eighth of an inch, so 12 and 7/8, which is a surprise. And I'm not wearing compression yet because I'm doing my measurements consistently where I measure without compression. Because man, with compression, I can go down quite a bit. All right, this one. So that's interesting. So the widest part of my calf has also gone down 2/8 of an inch. So I started out at 22. That is so crazy. So now it's 21 3/4. So it's got to be fluid. I mean, obviously, it's lipedema and lymphedema, and it's got to be the fluid retention in the legs, right? So here's the thing. As soon as I get done, yeah, the biggest part of my thigh is down half an inch. I got to get my compression on, like straight up. As soon as I get off of this podcast, I've got to go get that compression on because I don't want to swell up and put that fluid right back in my legs. So anyway, yeah, that is so crazy. So anyway, that's the measuring. The posting one photo or video for awareness, that's not a problem for me. I overpost, I overshare, all that stuff. So progress is good. I'm planning for how I'm going to get my exercise in tomorrow on a travel and conference day. So I'm leaving for the airport, and I'm going to this conference that's all day, and then I'm at a hotel with a pool, and I'm at a hotel with a gym. So I am planning to one get some extra walking in when I'm at the Dallas airport. I have a little bit of a layover, so I'm going to try and just make sure I get 30 full minutes of walking in, and then the pool will be for me. If I make it to the pool, great, that's what I want, but if I don't, then I've already got my exercise done. And I'm traveling with one of the stretchy bands. So I wanted to tell you that there's a chance we won't make it to the gym today because Rob needs to go run an errand before I go to school tonight. And it's like 40 minutes away. And so I'm going to drive him out there and do my school reading while I'm waiting for him. But I'm going to bring my stretchy bands with me to the conference, and I'm going to go ahead and do a stretchy band workout here in a minute after I put my compression on. I've been looking at this guy named Jeremiah. He has reels that are on the verge of making fun of people who have different body things, because he does this thing where it's like, if he says, oh, do you have back fat, then he puts like water balloons around his back, so it, sort of like mimics having back fat. It is funny, but it's also like he's doing the workouts with that burden of having the back fat. So then he shows you modifications using these stretchy bands. Like, I haven't seen him do any exercises yet that involve any other thing besides a grabber, like to help reach his legs and stuff like that, or these stretchy bands. And he's selling the stretchy bands, but I've noticed he has some pictures of people with lipedema. And he's like, here's how you do a knee workout with fat around your knees and stuff like that. And so I think the workouts are good, but I have been commenting on his stuff like, this is lipedema. It's resistant to diet and exercise. It's an actual disease. Like, I comment on his stuff because that's who I am. Um, and he has like more than a million subscribers. So that's a tiny way that I can raise awareness. And I'm trying not to be like a jerk about it. But also, he's using pictures that people posted on the internet of their bodies. And I'm guessing, I don't know, but every single one of his videos has a picture of someone that he uses as the example of like the person you don't want to be. I hate to say it that way. And he's pissing some people off too. But no, I guess no. What's the saying? No media is bad media, or whatever. No press is bad press. Um, anyway, his exercises are good, and it's just like, if we could just tap into him to use for lipedema awareness, that would be pretty cool, right? So I'm going to be doing here in a minute his one of his leg workouts. So there you go. That's my story for the day. I'm sticking to it. I'm doing fine, but I've learned already that if I don't get the movement in early, it's not going to happen. That I have to drink my water before I go to bed, and that's fine. And then watching the protein to make sure that I get enough. And so I've kind of got a mitigation for that. And then just reminding myself, girl, wash your dang face before you go to bed and moisturize. It can't just be washed, it's got to be and moisturize. So there you go. Happy Lipedema Awareness Month. I hope you're doing something to raise awareness in your own way, whatever you're comfortable with. And that could be something as simple as commenting on someone else's video in a kind way, because we all don't need any more drama in our lives, right? Could be uploading something to your patient portal, sharing one picture, telling one story, right? Write that book. I've seen a couple of people writing books, and I do not view that as competition. We need more people writing books. We need more people telling their story. That's what I'm going to say. What kind of world would it be if only one person wrote a book about lipedema, or only one person was an influencer, or only one person shared their story? No, girl, write your story, tell your story, share your pictures. We need you. And I'm talking to you, right? Um, Share your story. Wherever it is, you may have to make a secret Instagram account that's not associated with your name. I get it. I totally get it. But what's one thing you could do to step outside our inner circle of lipedema community? We already know, right? We know we've got lipedema. Tell somebody else. That's the whole thing. So, anyway, wow, this ended up being 23 minutes. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Just plan on the next 3 days. I am going to do updates. They're going to be raw and uncut because I'm going to be traveling. But I'm doing this. It's not an excuse. You can't out excuse lipedema. That's what I'm going to say. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.